charge. So he needs a bit more time, and hopefully we can work on the positives.
No doubt about that. Much to discuss. Get your thoughts via social media, the usual channels, as we hand you back to Simon, to David and Anita. Full time here. It's finished. Norwich City 2, Arsenal 2.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, it ends 2-2 at Carrow Road. Thanks to Auba. Let's see how you guys at home have been reacting to our Gabonese striker's equaliser. Look at that. I mean, 2 goals today. He's been really crucial. King of the Universe is saying, magic Auba, magic finish. Gets him a lifetime contract. Simon, you're laughing there.
Oh, well, in my dreams.
I mean, how key is he?
He's so important. He's so important. I don't know what happened today without him, is the truth of the matter. He's the lifeblood of the team. Obviously, he's the guy that gets, 90-95% of the goals. He works hard as well, like he was tracking back towards the end there. So, yeah, I can't even imagine where we would be. I mean, he's a world-class striker who, amazingly, is keeping his form.
He needed a couple of bites at the cherry, though, didn't he, with the penalty today? Even he was suffering with, I think, a little bit of confidence issues. You could see he wasn't 100%.
Of course, with the penalty and stuff. Yeah, so true. So true.
But he is, and I keep watching him play, and I don't see him involved in the game all of the time in build-up play or any fancy bits of football. But what he is, he's just clinical and he's there. And when that ball falls to him in the box for the equaliser, it's fantastic. Great finish.
Yeah.
OK, well, he's got 10 goals so far this season. Was he your man of the match?
Yeah, I think.
Or is it tight? Could it be Leno?
It's Leno for me. But it's always a hard thing to say when your goalkeeper is the best player in your team.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But for the saves, for keeping us in the game.
You're right, I think you can go either or. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but, if Leno's not doing his job, we don't get where we are. And if Auba's not doing his job, we don't get where we are. But, yeah, I just kind of thought, especially with the second penalty for me, we were talking about it, to have the confidence to step up after... Because the first one was not a good pen. The second one nailed it, absolutely smashed it. And to be able to do that, I would give it there, but I wouldn't argue with Leno either. I think it's an either or, to be honest.
The Arsenal Nation have had their say about Leno's saves this afternoon as well. Let's take a look at these tweets. If we're ever building another statue next to Henri's one, it should be for burnt Leno. Thank God for burnt Leno. I think we were all thinking that this afternoon. And here's the table, guys. So look at this. These are the number of saves that goalkeepers have made. Look at that. Look at that in the Premier League. I mean, he's second on the list there.
Do you know the interesting fact about that, though, is to be in that list...
It's not good news,
You have to be... in the worst defending side.
That's the thing.
So they're all at the bottom of the table, those sides.
That's what I was about to say.
Brighton, Newcastle, Norwich, Bournemouth.
Plus, we're not at the bottom of the table.
We're not at the bottom of the table, but it just means that your defenders are not doing their job. Last year, at the top of the goalkeeping list, with the fewest saves, which put his ratio was the best, was City's keeper. So it's like kind of...
Yeah, because they're doing their job.
Yeah.
That's the thing, it's a great stat in one hand because you think, OK, we've got a safe
We've got a great
hands.
goalkeeper. Yeah, we've got a great goalkeeper.
We shouldn't be conceding so many shots on target. That's the...
So when the defence start firing and that comes together, he is the man. He's going to be, the kingpin in that back five.
That's the thing, yeah. This is the thing with Arsenal at the moment. There are so many good bits to it, but it's just finding that cohesive unit that we just haven't got there. Because the keeper is good and our attack is good, but in the middle of the park, again, good players, but finding a way to make sure they all click is just, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is right now.
But would you say you've seen some improvement there? Because you mentioned that there were good parts, but just you didn't see that cohesiveness that you'd like.
I do think the football was more positive today. Like we saw that tweet at half-time that said less backwards and sideways passes. I would agree with that. And that's good, absolutely. That's something you've got to take a positive for. And, I mean, it depends how you look at it. At the moment, if you look at it where we are in context, I still think we should be able to beat Norwich, but still a draw against Norwich is far better than a loss against Norwich.
I think, where we are, the club we are, the players we've got, on paper, you should look at that side and say, this is a game we should win. And then our situation that surrounds the club at the moment makes us a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So I suppose a draw, in the whole scheme of things, isn't the end of the world. We've come back from going behind again, which is good for Freddie to know that his team have got that resilience in them. He's played a change side, made a couple of adjustments, which always make a difference to...
Freddieisms.
Freddieisms, and he's had one day. Yeah. He's had one day.
Yeah, it's really important to remember.
So he'll reflect on that. He'll say to the players, listen, it's a positive thing. And what was nice today, I saw Kolasinac, I saw Mustafi, having a little bit of taking a little bit of responsibility after things, saying to people, come on, you've got to do better than that. I saw Kalas saying, we don't want to be passing the ball, playing short passes across the back. Do it quicker, let's get it forward.
Yeah.
We didn't see that under Emery. They was all like, kind of, shall I do this or shall I not? So hopefully he's already, the Freddie-isms are having their
and
having their
you've
impact.
got to remember too, this is the start. Rebuild's probably a bit strong of a word, but I'll use it anyway. It is the start of let's get everything back together. It's not a A-class, well-renowned manager coming in and getting that bounce back. We win 3-0. This is more of a where are we going next? So again, I still think we should be able to beat Norwich, but 2-2, okay.
Okay, well, let's see what you guys at home have had to say about Freddie's first game in charge. Positive signs going forward, so some echoing what you guys just said. Terrible defensively, though. I'm sure some of that can be fixed by Freddie and Per going forward. Next up, trying to keep positive since it's game one for Freddie, but I don't notice anything different at all yet, so that's quite different to what we've been saying here. Freddie knows the enormity of the task ahead of him. A few positive signs so far, but will need time to impose his style. You've mentioned that, David, before about the style. I mean, off the back of this, well, what is the style? That's a great question to start with. But off the back of this, what should we be setting our sights on going forward now?
I think we need confidence, but we need stability in the way we're playing results. So where the side's been changed a lot in recent games, it's always been tinkered with. First of all, Freddie needs to get a team, get them settled and keep playing that same team, making small changes for fatigue or for injury reasons, but not trying to tinker with it too much. Keep it simple, like he did today. Play a simple system. Don't play complicated systems where you've got floaters or someone, link players. And keep it really simple from first. And just let's build on that. We've got a big programme of games coming up this Christmas. Christmas is always a really tough period on everyone, just because half these players will be missing their families. They'll be sort of travelling away for games on important days. And I think he's just got to keep a group of players really focused on their jobs in the team and keep their jobs as simple as possible and to
work and build with that
and get results slowly and steadily.
It is one game. I mean, you've got to remember one game. Unai was gone on Friday,
and he had like one training session
Freddie's
as well.
in on Saturday. We have a game on Sunday. Like you can't expect. We all want it, but you can't expect these drastic changes. We need the Christmas period. We need to see where we are in January. Then we can start getting an idea of what we need.
OK, I think now would be a good time to take a look at our results from the last month. So take a look at this here. I mean, there's 2 L's there. I know it's not where we want to be, but ultimately it is only 2 losses in the last month. Sorry, and the table as well. There, we're 8th now. Realistically, I ask the question again: where should we be setting our sights for this season?
I think we always got to aim for top 4. Like even as unrealistic as some people may think it is now with everything that's gone on, if you're not aiming for that, then we may as well just close the doors now. We have to believe we can get in those Champions League spots. We have to believe we can do well in the Europa League. But really, it's an open door. It's a mystery check, but we don't know because we are in uncharted waters. An interim manager or interim coach.
Yeah, and I think that is sort of a bit of rose-tinted glasses, and that would be like, and that's how fans feel. But I think realistically, Champions League is not an option this season. I think we need to get that out of our head. We need to use the Europa League as a potential way of keeping that dream alive and invest in that. Invest in that competition. Freddie will. He'll play his best team in that to win that. We got all the way to the final last year. We should be able to win that competition. And try and use that as our reason for Champions League football. But other than that, I think 5 to 8, we take away the deficit, the 7 or 8 points that
well, it's 7
like
points that separates us and Chelsea, and they're in the 4th place.
Yeah, so if we can eliminate that and get around that 4th, 5th place, 4th will be lovely. 5th, anywhere around there, get back in the group where we need to be, have that chance of European football in the background just burning away, but just concentrate on form and the way we play our football here and
that's the most important thing.
Get back to being a solid unit of players, because 1 or 2 have splintered out of the group. We need to bring everybody in and work with this team. Yeah,
even if you take like a month or so to refine that team and you don't really find your form till, say, March, April, it's going to suck when you look at the table. But going forward, we would have refound who Arsenal were almost, and I think that is the number one priority.
I'd take another 4 draws in a row if by the end of it, on that 4th one, the closing down was spot on, the team play was spot on, the forwards were getting the ball, the chances had gone up, the shots against goes down. If all of that starts looking good, I'll take 4 draws. If it means that after that, potentially I'm going to win 6 games in a row.
OK, well, guys, it comes to that moment in the show. I'm going to ask you to describe the performance in 1 word, please.
Hopeful. I'm going to be positive, even though it's a bit of a over the top.
David, are you eating? Are you chewing? What's going on there?
Debating.
One word.
I'll be good cop, you be bad cop.
I don't know, I'm optimistic.
There you go.
What did you say?
Hopeful.
Oh, OK.
That's
hopeful
good.
and optimistic. We'll take
It's
that.
the same thing, but it's fine. It's all good.
OK, well, David, Simon, thank you so much for joining us in the studio here today. We will, of course, be back on Thursday in the Premier League at home, where we play Brighton. Action here in the Arsenal Nation Live studio will start at 7:30, so make sure you join us then.